Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. We begin with the latest from the war in Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine are set to meet later today in Istanbul to exchange formal proposals on how to end the three-year war. The talks come a day after Kiev claimed a major strike on Russian soil, damaging some 40 strategic bombers in a special operation deep inside Russia. Meanwhile, Russian shelling and air attacks have killed 5 people in southeastern Ukraine, while a drone strike injured at least 6 others in the northeastern Sumy region earlier today. The attacks came after Moscow claimed to have intercepted 162 Ukrainian drones overnight, just hours before the scheduled meeting in Istanbul. Moving to the war in West Asia, Gaza Civil Defense Agency says Israeli gunfire had killed at least 31 Palestinians near a US-backed aid center in Rafah. This came as Israel faced growing condemnation over the humanitarian crisis in the war-ravaged Gaza Strip. But the Israeli military denied this, saying troops did not fire on civilians at the site. Meanwhile, in the United States, 8 people were injured after a man threw incendiary devices into a crowd during a pro-Israeli hostage demonstration in Colorado. Police said the 45-year-old suspect shouted "Free Palestine" before launching the attack at a pedestrian mall near the University of Colorado. The FBI called it terror attack and named the suspect as Mohammed Suleiman, who is now hospitalized and under investigation. In South Asia, India reported 203 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, bringing the total active infections to nearly 4,000. The disease that brought the world to a standstill in 2020 claimed 4 more lives, one each in Delhi, Kerala, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, with the toll reaching 32 since January 1st. Health officials link the spike to new Omicron subvariants, with most cases reportedly mild. In East Asia, China firmly rejected accusations made by the US that it had violated a recent tariffs agreement between the two countries. This came after Washington accused Beijing of slow-rolling the agreement made in Geneva last month. China's Commerce Ministry called the charges bogus and unreasonable, insisting it had acted in good faith. North Korea defends its military cooperation with Russia, calling it a legitimate exercise of sovereign rights. This comes after a US-led sanctions group labeled the ties unlawful under US measures. The group says Pyongyang supplied munitions and troops to support Moscow's war in Ukraine. In response, Pyongyang said the partnership aims to ensure peace and stability in Europe. Poland-elects nationalist historian Karol Nawrocki as president, winning with just over 50% in tight runoff. The victory likely threatens to block pro-EU social reforms and risks straining ties with the European Union and Ukraine. Nawrocki, a Trump admirer, also faces controversy over his past. Moving to Europe, Britain announces plans to increase its nuclear-powered attack submarine fleet. The UK will build up to 12 next-generation submarines to replace the current 7 by the late 2030s. This comes as Prime Minister Keir Starmer races to rebuild his country's defense capabilities after US President Donald Trump urged Europe to take more responsibility for its own security. And in Africa, Sudan's new Prime Minister Kamel Idris has reportedly dissolved the country's caretaker government. This comes as the nation grapples with a civil war that has claimed thousands of lives and triggered one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Idris took the oath of office over the weekend, becoming Sudan's first Prime Minister since the 2021 military coup. In climate news, in India, more than 300,000 people in 19 Assam districts are affected as floods wreak havoc across the region. Torrential rain, landslides and flash floods have killed 34 people since May 28th. This includes 10 in Assam and others in Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura and Nagaland. Transport services are hit, 1,500 tourists are stranded in Sikkim and over 900 homes have been damaged. Meanwhile, heavy dust and thunderstorms lashed New Delhi and its surrounding cities. The extreme weather delayed several flights at New Delhi airport. It also prompted weather alerts in Noida, Gurugram and Faridabad. Strong wind caused visibility issues and brief power outages in some areas. Flash floods in Mokwa, Niger state have claimed 151 lives and displaced over 3,000 people. Torrents of water swept through homes after heavy rains last week. Emergency crews are still searching debris days later. Nigeria remains highly vulnerable during its April to October rainy season. More than 25,000 residents across Manitoba, Alberta and Saskatchewan have been evacuated as wildfires rage across parts of Canada. The air quality is worsening and spreading smoke into some U.S. border states. Manitoba, under a state of emergency, saw the highest number of evacuations at 17,000. With smoke reducing visibility and increasing health risk, officials warn conditions could worsen. According to reports, only 2 of 30 European nations, Austria and Slovenia, have committed to net zero military emissions. Most haven't even calculated their defense carbon footprint. Experts warn this military exceptionalism undermines climate goals and long-term security. Militaries are estimated to contribute 5.5% of global emissions, more than aviation. On to business and tech news now. Asian stock markets started the week soft as US-China trade tensions continued and investors awaited US jobs data as well as a possible European interest rate cut. Japan's Nikkei fell 1.4% while Hong Kong's shares dropped 2.5% earlier today. Oil prices rebounded more than $1 a barrel after OPEC Plus confirmed a July output increase. Earlier today, Brent crude rose $1.34 to $64.12 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude climbed to $62.31, up more than 2.5%. The European Union said it was ready to retaliate after President Trump announced a plan to double tariffs on imported steel and aluminium to 50%. The EU said President Trump's move undermined ongoing efforts to reach a negotiated solution. The tariffs are expected to take effect on June 4th. South Korea's exports dropped 1.3% in May, the first decline in 4 months as shipments to the US and China fell. The slump followed escalating global trade tensions over President Trump's tariffs. South Korea's May shipments to the United States fell 8.1%, while those to China fell 8.4%. Australia's house prices rose for a 4th straight month in May, hitting a record high of over $536,000 nationwide. The 0.5% monthly gain was fueled by interest rate cuts, with every state capital posting an increase in prices. Global airlines cut their combined profit forecast for this year to $36 billion, down from $36.6 billion expected earlier. The International Air Transport Association cited trade tensions and delays in aircraft deliveries that hindered growth plans. IATA warned that surging costs could lead to higher fares for passengers. India's largest airline, Indigo, struck a deal with Air France, KLM, Virgin Atlantic and Delta to expand its long-haul flights to North America, Europe and the UK. The agreement allows Indigo to sell flights under its own name on partner routes, including services from Amsterdam and Manchester, starting July. Indigo also confirmed it will convert 30 options for Airbus A350 jets into firm orders. Air India has reportedly entered talks with Airbus and Boeing for a new aircraft order, including around 200 additional single-aisle planes. This would top up Air India's record 2023 order for 470 jets as the Tata-owned carrier pursues a multi-billion-dollar revamp. The new deal could reportedly include hundreds of planes across various sizes. Swedish global home decor and furniture retailer IKEA said it would raise local sourcing in India to 50%, up from the previous 30%, as the country becomes a focus market for both domestic retail and global supply. IKEA is already sourcing products worth around $435 million from India for exports. It plans to source more categories like sofas, mattresses and storage furniture from the country. Alphabet's Google said it will appeal an antitrust decision under which a federal judge proposed less aggressive ways to restore online search competition than the one suggested by antitrust enforcers. Google said it will strongly believe the court's original decision was wrong and will wait for a final opinion before launching an appeal. Moving to sports, we begin with cricket. Punjab set up IPL final clash with Bengaluru after beating Mumbai at Gujarat's Narendra Modi Stadium. After taking to field, Shreyas Iyer's side restricted Mumbai at 203 runs. In response, Punjab chased down in the 19th over. Captain Shreyas was awarded player of the match for his 87-run not-out knock-off just 41 balls. Former English pacer Stuart Broad will act as consultant for South Africa. Broad will take this role for South Africa's World Test Championship final against reigning champion Australia. Starting on June 11, this will be Broad's first coaching stint following his retirement in 2023. In football, Paris Saint-Germain's players celebrated the Champions League victory in the city on Sunday afternoon. There was a heavy police presence for the celebrations following the widespread disorder in France after the finals when 2 people died. In tennis, men's world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz entered French Open quarter-finals. The Spaniard beat American Ben Shelton 7-6, 6-3, 4-6, 6-4. Alcaraz will face Tommy Paul of the United States in the quarter-finals tomorrow. Men's world number 7 Lorenzo Musetti beat Holger Rune of Denmark in the 4th round of French Open. The Italian beat Dutchman 7-5, 3-6, 6-3, 6-2 in the match. Musetti will face Frances Tiafoe of the United States in the quarterfinals. Women's world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka entered the French Open quarterfinals. Sabalenka beat Amanda Anisimova of the United States in straight sets. After winning the match, Sabalenka said she tried to change her opponent's rhythm against her, and that staying aggressive helped her win the match. Women's world number 5 Iga Świątek also entered the French Open quarterfinals. Świątek beat Kazakhstan's Elina Rybakina 1-6, 6-3, 7-5. Świątek will face Ukraine's Elina Svitolina in the quarterfinals. In men's double at the French Open, India's Yuki Bhamri and her partner Robert Galloway crashed out of the tournament. The Indo-American pair were beaten by an All-American pair in straight sets in the 3rd round. This marks the end of Indian campaign at the French Open. McLaren's Oscar Piastri won the Spanish Grand Prix. From the pole position, Piastri dominated the race, only ceding position to Max Verstappen through the pit stop cycles. With this, Piastri equaled F1 legend Ayrton Senna's tally of 8 consecutive F1 podiums. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen was left on the brink of a ban after a clash with Mercedes' George Russell. In chess, world champion Gukesh Dommaraju earned his first classical victory over Magnus Carlsen in Norway. Gukesh topped the long-time world number 1 in dramatic fashion. The stunning win prompted Carlsen to punch the table in frustration before storming out of the venue. And finally, in entertainment news, Crystal McKinney, who recently sued Sean Diddy Combs for alleged drugging and assault, has now been added to a sexual assault lawsuit against Harvey Weinstein. The amended complaint alleges Weinstein raped McKinney and a friend in a Manhattan hotel in 2003 during a supposed business meeting. K-pop megastar BTS will celebrate their 12th anniversary with a 2-day fiesta event in Goyang, South Korea. It will be from June 13 to June 14th. Fans can expect archive exhibits, interactive zones, light shows, exclusive merchandise and online content, including their annual BTS Live and family portrait sessions. British TV star Chris Hughes ignited internet buzz after posting then deleting an intimate photo of himself kissing Jojo Siwa in bed. The photo, which quickly went viral, showed the pair in a cozy setting, prompting widespread speculation about their relationship. Sony's latest entry in the Karate Kid franchise opened to $21 million, below its $25 million forecast. A film starring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio continues the saga after the Cobra Kai finale and has been met with the strong fan approval despite mixed critic reviews. And renowned American actor Renee Victor passed away after a prolonged battle with lymphoma. Best known for voicing Arbolita in Disney Pixar's Coco, Victor was celebrated for her work across stage and screen. Her family confirmed her passing and said she was surrounded by loved ones. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gusheen Garland and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to First Post.